that I'd like to show you. That's Explorer Online. So we have a set of APIs, and one of our APIs is an API for Silverlight. Lets you work with these map services. And so we've taken that Silverlight API and we've built this application. We call it Explorer Online. And actually just opened up that map right there that I just saved, and I'm viewing it within this application. Now I can do things like measure along here. So what's on this street? What's the distance? Work with different units and whatnot. So it's very powerful. But I can also create notes on this map. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this, this area. And I can add information to it. We need a pin oak here. And then save that back with the map. Now, this Explorer Online is actually a great way for you to tell a story. So another aspect of this application is a presentation mode. So we can, let me just find this presentation I created. What a presentation lets you do is, all right, let me start it up, is to tell a story with your map. So this application has a series of maps. So this is going to go through an earthquake map demo here. See, we've had 2 major earthquakes within the last few months, both Haiti and Chile. I can zoom down, I can see the devastation in Chile. What are the aftershocks that I'm seeing right now? These aren't fake pictures, these are real services being loaded right here.
So you're reading in the real services with this free app and doing markups and, in this case, telling a story with it.
Exactly.
Like PowerPoint.
Exactly. So here we're in San Francisco Bay. Let's zoom down. Let's see earthquake activity within the last 7 days. This map is cool because there's faults coming from California resources agencies, and there's current earthquakes coming from USGS. And we could throw on another service. So the California Resource Agency also has this great service called Tsunami High Risk Area. So these might be hard to see, but those areas in blue there. And we have 3 important areas that I'd just like to point out. Treasure Island is in that area. The Oakland Airport. And zoom in, and also AT&T Park. So I just wanted to give you a flavor of this application that you can use and without any programming at all. But it's not just, there's another aspect of this, and I'd like to create a new map from scratch here. And what I want to do is go to data.gov. Data.gov is, they've been rapidly changing. Actually, when I saw it at the Gov 2.0, it's completely different now, and they've added a lot of information. One of the things that they're working on to make better is exposing these services. So I'm going to search here for EPA Map Service. Find this one record. So they're going to be making this better. I get information about this record, but I need to go to the more detailed information. So look at this HTML format. And then I see the service that actually powers this impaired waters record. Now, if I want to just add this to my map, or one like it, I'm going to go and pick a GIS server. So I'm going to touch that server and get all the services that it has. And I'm going to actually pick this beach service and add it to my map. Then I'm going to zoom into San Francisco area. All right. And maybe switch the imagery to aerial imagery. So these are all areas that have that the EPA has warnings for the beach zone. You got to watch out for this area because of runoff and whatnot. So this will get better. This experience will get better in data.gov. We just wanted to show you how you can actually work with that very soon.
The point is the whole map front end accesses the whole open government movement. So I can grab services, integrate them, use them, build applications on top of it. And there's these free apps like the app. Apps. How about apps?
How about apps? So those are all maps, and maps have a very focused point, and they tell a story. But you can use the information behind those maps to create applications and then share those applications. So if we look at a series of these applications that are featured, I can go and drill and see, here's a crime mapping site from the Omega Group. So I can open this map, zoom into Illinois, and pick a Peoria. This is a service they offer. And they advertise this information. I could see all of the crimes within the last week. This is just to give you an example of a type of application that you might find. But you can also, let me go back here. Applications tell other stories. So I could do things like, what is the drought? Do some advanced geospatial analysis for drought timing based on when I plant seeds. Or look at an application like that shows me animation within earthquakes within Chile. This application is very cool because it's showing the Chilean earthquakes in both space and time. So we're animating through the big earthquake in Chile. We're going hour by hour, and we're seeing the size of the magnitudes of the aftershocks and then the frequency, ones that happen within the hour and ones that happen after that.
Some of these services are temporal in nature, and these free clients that you can download allow you to play around with it. And there's free APIs that you can build cool applications on top of. Actually, what we're talking about here is not simply some apps. We're talking about actually a GIS in the sky. I mean, all the concepts of geographic analysis that we've been playing with for decades, suddenly moving out on the web with distributed services, maps and apps and analytics. So it gets down to the original title of our slide, spatial analysis in the sky. Mm-hmm. And I can pull those in as a developer, build on top of them, use them, integrate them, and load and go. So John Gage, 20 years ago when he introduced me to the web, we talked about, man, GIS is going to move for all of society. Mm-hmm. This is it, John. This is it.
Well, one more down-to-earth thing. So when sharing these...
Right.
You can choose to share these applications and share just the URL with a reference to the app, or you can choose to share the code with the application, so you can share the code with the greater community. Now, we've looked at many applications, and we've looked at things that we've featured or that we plan on featuring, but we can also search for things. Now, I'm going to go ahead and search for something called Naperville. What do we have? Oops, I got a few bugs there. Search for what do we have around Naperville, Illinois? Well, actually, here I see two applications. I see an iPhone application, and I see a citizen request, a web application. I'm going to go to the iPhone now, unlock, and pick a different app here. Okay, this is a example of a service request application for Naperville, Illinois. Of course, if I were in Naperville, I'd say use my current location, but right now for this, I'm not going to do that. Now I can go ahead and add a request to this map. Say I see something that's important. I could do a locate my address by typing it in, or I could just touch on the map. So I'll say there's something right here. Now it's going to figure out where I touch Centennial Park. Go ahead and enter the information. So here at Centennial Park, I need to add a photo. I could take a picture, or I'm just going to pick one of these existing photo images. How about this guy? That's my favorite one. And there's a problem in this area. What are the problems? I can see things like pothole, fire hydrant, graffiti removal. I'm going to go ahead and this is obviously a pothole. And to supply a description so I don't stumble through typing this out, I'll just save everybody and press save. And then give my contact information. And type in this in. And I'll save. Now I've got all the information required. I'll go ahead and submit it. So now it's submitting it to the city of Naperville. It's within their GIS system. So that request is now within the organization. Now if I switch back to the web application and open up this app, this customer care portal, well, one way, of course, is to do it from the phone, or I could go to the website. Or maybe I want to go to the website and offer more information. So I click on this guy. This shows me the request that just came through. It's a pothole that needs it fixed. I can see the attachment. I could comment on it. There's no comments on it, so I'm going to go ahead and comment on this. I'm a different citizen here. Don't take away my fishing spot. And I can, of course, rate this information. And now this all goes back to the city. So what's actually really important here? The important thing is that this information goes to the city takes that information, generates work orders, and then the workers within the city go and fix the pothole.
Perfect. Well, citizen-driven government, right? Pipelining in citizen engagement right back into the city. It will transform democracy, just like Recovery.gov is doing right now, and just exposing that. That's the first step. It's going to be very cool. So I mentioned John Gage. At that time, we were, I think, at between thousands and millions, hundreds of thousands and millions, weren't we, John? GIS has been evolving, and it has a lot to do with technology. It also has a lot to do with community. It has a lot to do with pictures, the vision. And I just, again, want to acknowledge Tim O'Reilly and his team here, because they're driving this whole technology and the vision of openness and open government and sharing, bringing all of this knowledge that society is invested in so it can be leveraged by everybody. Thanks very much. you.